Good morning, everybody. This is Mikael from Healthwise Enterprise. The health food store is located at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan, between Ryan and DeQuinda, but some people say we're between Taco Bell and Long John Silver. Be there to service you from 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. And we do our best to inform our people of God's ways to get healthy. Some people call it alternative ways, from the mainstream sources of getting healthy. I like God's ways better because God's made these vitamins and made the minerals, and I find that's what we lacking is minerals and vitamins and trace minerals and fatty acids, precursors, live enzymes, live foods. We're not lacking drugs. Drugs is synthetic, is trying to be God. They take certain aspects of plants that has some healing properties to it and go to the laboratory and make a synthetic and charge you enormous fees, and where it costs them pennies, and they charge you hundreds. This is work as far as them making them rich, rich, rich. To the folks, my wife asked me the other day, how did the drug companies get to advertise so many drugs? Well, when the owners of the TV station are heavily invested in the drug companies through stocks, etc., they want to make sure their stocks go up. So they do that by advertisement. And it's working because, I think Hitler said, if you tell the same lie over and over again, after a while people start believing the lie. But we are truth seekers, truth believers, believe in God. We know God's system works. And we're not trying to fool the people. We're just trying to remind people what they already know. A few times the people come into the store, the things that we share with them, they don't already know. It's just we're just reminding them, because folks know cigarettes is harmful, but they keep on taking it. Most folks know that meat is harmful, but they keep on eating it. And they know that sugar is harmful, but they keep on taking it. But that's what addictive drugs do to folks, like crack, cocaine. They know it's harmful, but they keep on doing it because it's an addictive drug. And what's similar to all those different foods is they have people going against their natural instincts, trying to fool Mother Nature. And as they say in the commercial, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Folks end up getting sick and sick and sick. Well, people that come to Healthwise are sick and tired of being sick. Over and over again, they say, I don't trust the medical establishment. I don't want to go to a place that's called a place to die. That's what the Latin word hospital means. It's a place to die. It's pathetic. Now the medical establishment has done great strides in helping folks. It's the drug companies, because people that go to school to become a doctor to push drugs, but that's what ended up happening. And I know there's one medical doctor who works with Dr. Wallet. He had her license taken away. She went to school. In her first year in medical school, she went to her counselor and said, well, when are we going to get into healing? Oh, it's coming, it's coming. 8 years later, never got into it. She did her residency and just, became a doctor, and just got sick and tired of going to funerals. And she said, well, what did our ancestors do? What did the slaves do to stay healthy? And when she started using things like blackstrap molasses, and she said they used turpentine when the sugar cube and things, this is what the slaves used. Plus, they had the knowledge about the herbs that it was passed on from generation to generation, what they use in Africa, what God has provided for them. And it helped them get through. And when she started, she just stopped one company from prescription drugs, and all the drug companies that she was dealing with all knew about it. And eventually took her license away because she no longer was a drug pusher. And that's the threat that a lot of doctors have. They spend 12 years of getting their degree and they pushing drugs, performing operations and test. And in their heart, they want to help people. At least I would think so. But because you, the public, are demanding healing, doctors are now doing the research and finding out alternative ways to help heal their people. And I'm so thankful that they are doing just that. But we need to keep the pressure on them. We got these sanitary napkins that we use. You can get them here at WHPR. You can get them at Healthwise. We went over and over again how the ones that's very popular, how dangerous they are. There are some laws on the books that talk about that, which we'll get into, so that you can write your congressman, call your congressman, send emails and text messages to let them know we want a list of the ingredients that's in the popular sanitary napkins, that's in the popular tampons. When I was a kid, we ain't had nothing to do with sanitary napkins and tampons, and I know some of my friends, they mamas asked them to go to the store to get it from them. But I'm thank God that I never had to do that when I was a kid. But yesterday, I bought some. First time in my life. And I was going to do a demo, but you've seen the demo. But eventually I will, but just not today. But this demo demonstrate that the dioxins that's in those pads. I've seen demos on YouTube where they burnt those popular pads and it had this black smoke and this foul odor, which is when you burn toxins, that's what it looks like. We haven't burnt one of these, but I'm going to burn one just to see what it looks like. And I suspect it's going to be a white smoke because they use cotton in the cherished sanitary pads. Cotton to protect our women against these poisons that goes directly into their blood system. They make these pads, and because it's considered as a medical device, that's the way these companies get around listing the ingredients that goes into their popular sanitary napkins and tampons. But there's a group that's demanding to put a list because anything else that goes into your body, the foods have to be, ingredients have to be listed, even though they figure out ways around that, but anyway, they have to be listed. These sanitary napkins is going right into your blood system. And it's dioxins, which I've heard is like next thing to Agent Orange, what they used in the Vietnam War, they was killing people. 20 years later, it was killing people. And I've heard women change these pads anywhere, and sanitary napkins anywhere from 15,000 to 60,000 times in a year. I mean, in a lifetime. Huh. It's just upsetting. But the thing is, we have choices now. These brothers to come up with these Cherish pad, and more women are using the Cherish pad because they come by. My own niece, for years, excruciating pain. Was I sympathized with her? But I never knew she had excruciating pain. Sometimes she couldn't even go to school when she was younger, couldn't go to work because of excruciating pain every month. She couldn't wait for her cycle to come on. And she used this pad, and for the first time, and she like in her 30s, for the first time in her life, she did not have that excruciating pain. And she didn't have to change the pad 6 or 8 times in one day. Because the absorption rate in this, the average woman losing weight from 15 to 50 milligrams, I think that's what they call it. But the worst, not the worst, but the most blood that is secreted from the vagina is about 2 ounces. We poured 2 ounces in a popular pad, and when we took it apart, it couldn't hold the water. That's why women are constantly wet, especially in the first days. This here pad, we'll put 8-10 ounces in it. It is still dry. We've had women who wear this Cherish pad 26, 28 hours. Still dry. They talk about it, feel like they don't have anything on. Still dry. And the excruciating pain is either cut out or greatly reduced from a 10 down to a 1 or 2. And that's the first month. The next month, it may go down to 1 or 2 to 0. Because of the strips that's in here, the ionic strips that's in here, in the Cherish pad. And the other key thing is no odor. Odor free. Besides being dry, which is a major concern to women, I mean, they would hate sitting down and wonder if they're going to leak through. There have been cheerleaders who, when they kick the legs up high, it leaked through. And you can see right through their white underwear, outerwear, is blood spots. And it's all over the internet. That's the fear the women have with those popular pads. But never has any woman feared that experience using the Cherish pads. Odor free, dry, and reducing the pain from 10 to 0. I'm elated and thankful that the brothers developed the Cherish pads. Again, you can get them at WHPI, you can get them at Healthwise. So, I'm very passionate about that. Just here, just what I talked about last week, and my dear wife made me make sure I pronounced this right. This turmeric, well, inside turmeric is curcumin. That's C-U-R-C-U-M-I-N. Curcumin. That is what the Indian women and men use, and they rarely, it's like the quote I got is that India's Alzheimer's secret revealed. Someone in the United States is almost 100 times more likely to die of Alzheimer's than one person in India. In the article, it talked about America. Now, we spend more money than all the countries in the world combined. And India is a poor nation. Why do they have such a low rate of Alzheimer's? Because their whole life, from their studies, they found out they was using turmeric. Of all the nations in the world, in the country of India, they use more turmeric than any nation in the world. And they got the lowest amount of people with Alzheimer's. My mom's been taking this for a week now. My wife says she noticed a difference because she's with her 3 to 5 days a week. And she's catching herself when she used to repeat her stories throughout the day. She's catching herself repeating those stories. So instead of repeating the story 6 times a day, now she's down to 1 or 2. That's just in 1 week of taking this turmeric. And taking 2 pills a day, which is giving her 500 milligrams of the Coumadin. But 500 milligrams in the turmeric, and somewhere close to 75 milligrams of the curcumin. Because curcumin is in the turmeric. Now, some people want to take and zero in on the curcumin, but God put the turmeric and made the turmeric and put cumin in it. So it's best to take it the way God developed it. And what this company did is concentrated because it's difficult for the body to absorb it. The Indians been doing it all their life. So they got it in their blood. They have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for their whole life. We just catching up. I mention these two because in the research I found that women who take this Coumadin don't have those health challenges. Because remember, we just started this here this year. This Cherish company just came out about a year ago. We just had access to this, because we was having trouble with getting the product in. In the summertime, that problem's eliminated. Now we can get it. But all those years beforehand, that build up of dioxins in women's bodies, we need something to get those poisons out. On this show, we have mentioned the Aquaman Boost, which is what they took up to Flint, and it neutralized the poisons that was in the water and neutralized the poisons that was in people's bodies during this 90-day double-blind study. We've mentioned the oxy powder that Dr. Group had put together, and we know oxygen is one of the main things that Dr. Otto Warburg used, and he got a Nobel Peace Prize using oxygen to cure people for 8 years of all kinds of cancers. We know cancer can't stand oxygen. And then Dr. Group took that knowledge and made these pills called oxy powder pills. This with oxygen in it. is breaking down a lot of that hard fecal matter that's in that colon. And 98% of all diseases originate in the colon. And it's pulling poisons not only just in the colon, the large intestine, but the small intestines, plus the liver, the kidneys, the blood system, lymphatic system, the skin and the lungs. But you got to drink that water. Then our water puts more oxygen into our system at Healthwise, puts more oxygen into the water. Because that dioxins is contributing to, from these studies, cancers, tumors, cysts throughout the breast, throughout the lungs, the uterus, throughout the body. Now we get the dioxins in the foods, in the air, in the water, and through the poisons that's in the clothes. But at least our immune system can help fight some of that off. But with these popular pads that they have out there, they putting the dioxin directly into the blood system and have for years. So to get those poisons out, we have the Aquaman Boost that's available, we have the Oxy powder that's available, and I'm always studying, and I kind of find out that the turmeric is helping with that line. I was excited because of this helping my moms with dementia. And to come to find out 1 week she's getting great results with it. But in the studies, I found out that it also helps women with those cramps, with those poisons that's in their bodies from years of using these popular tampons and pads. So whenever I talk about this, it's just toxic chemicals in tampons may increase your health risk. Now they had a video on here. This came out June 7, 2017. They had video on here, and they don't have it on Dr. McCullough's website, so you have to go to YouTube. And I have yet to hook up a system, but we're going to work on that, where we can show you some of these YouTube videos for those who don't have access to YouTube. But it says, I'm just going to go by what Dr. Wiley, because he got, McCullough, because he got some real good information. Uh-oh, got a call? Well, I'm sorry. Caller, could you call back? I just saw the light blinking. Hysteria at a glance. Okay. Again, the name of this is toxic chemicals in tampons may increase your health risks. Years of silence about feminine hygiene products have made it easier for manufacturers to produce them without undue scrutiny into the processes and chemical use. For years of silence about feminine hygiene products have made it easier for manufacturers to produce them without undue scrutiny into the processes and chemical uses. Advocates rally in Washington to support a bill requiring manufacturers to disclose ingredients in tampons and sanitary pads, and another directing the National Institute of Health to determine if the chemical pose a health risk. Seek out products made from organic, natural fibers without toxic chemicals, or consider making your own reusable pads at home. Well, we seeked out, and we got the Cherish pad. But anyway, let me give you the list of these house bills so you can call and demand changes. Until just the last decade, the topic of menstruation was not discussed in mixed company. Women hid their feminine hygiene products and used cold words to refer to their periods and menstrual cramps. Discussion about the ingredients in these products were also not openly deliberated. However, recognizing the dangers women face using some of these products, activists have worked hard to normalize the conversations about monthly periods in order to improve the product's availability. Open conversations has resulted in many choosing natural alternatives for personal care products that contain toxic ingredients, such as lotions, deodorants, and cosmetics. But the same cannot be said about feminine products. Period equality and women voices for Earth are working to change this. Period equality and women voices for Earth are working to change this. Activists are calling for new rules and are willing to rally in Washington to be sure politicians are aware of their concerns, which include regulations of feminine products, ingredients. They are calling for testing of the ingredients to ensure safety for women who use period protections up to 500 times in a lifetime. Feminine hygiene products are classified as medical devices. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulates tampons and sanitary pads as medical devices, a classification which offers the manufacturer certain protections and hold specific tax status as well. As discussed in the short video above, many female hygiene products contain toxic chemicals. Manufacturers of medical devices are not required to disclose all ingredients in their products, but the FDA recommends they provide general information about the material composition used to produce the products. Individual ingredients are not required, but listed materials such as cotton, rayon, nylon is suggested. In other words, manufacturers who produce materials you may place directly against your skin in your vagina for hours at a time are not required to tell you exactly what's in those products. The FDA offers recommendations, but the manufacturers are not required to follow even these recommendations. Today, most cotton is genetically engineered and soaked in pesticides, as it is not a consumable product. I don't know, you call putting the tampon directly on the vagina or in the vagina is not a consumable product. Where they get that from? Because whatever you put on your skin goes directly into your body. And so those cosmetics have to list all the ingredients, but something that goes directly into your vagina or on top of your vagina is not. Today, it's not considered a consumable product. However, inserting a generically engineered cotton tampon into the vagina several times each month, by each day, may be worse than ingesting pesticides from generically engineered food. Considering the high permeable nature of the vagina wall, it's highly absorbable. The ingredients that make up the ingredients make up the fragrance added to these products, which fall under the category of cosmetics, is also unregulated. Once again, the FDA does not regulate the ingredients. They do not require those ingredients be released to the public. Political push to public ingredients in feminine products. Recently, a bill was introduced in the House of Representatives called the Menstrual Products Right to Know Act in 2017, which would require feminine hygiene product manufacturers to list all ingredients on the package. The recent rally in Washington was in support of this bill and organized by WVE, who released a report in 2013 called the Chem Fatale, detailing toxic chemicals in feminine care products. Representative Grace Mean, from Democrat from New York, states, "We want women to be able to know what chemicals are in these products which come in direct contact with our bodies." Direct contact with our bodies? Yes. Tampons and sanitary pads are produced for and marketed to women with the promise they will give her a fresher feeling or greater confidence, promoting good health and better sex appeal. But a closer look reveals products designed to be in close proximity to an absorbable part of a woman's body are sold with ingredients that have little to no data securing their safety. This $3 billion industry produces products used by up to 85% of women, distributing chemicals with considerable data gaps. Another bill, the Robin Danielson Feminine Hygiene Product Safety Act, the House Bill 1708, was first introduced by Congresswoman Carolyn Mahoney, another Democrat from New York, in 2015, and then reintroduced in 2017 under House Bill 2379. The proposed act would direct the National Institute of Health to determine if the chemicals used in the production of feminine hygiene products pose a health risk to the woman using them. This is the 10th time the bill has been introduced and never left the committee. Past history indicates it may take more public support and rallies for the proposed changes to legislation to pass, protecting the health of women and girls. A third bill, the Menstrual Equality for All Act of 2017, House Bill 972, was introduced by Representative Grace Mean. This bill focused on ensuring access to menstrual products for women of few means, such as homeless, female prisoners, and low-income households. Are there toxins levels? No. Are there tolerable levels of toxins? One cost of doing business with sanitary napkins and tampons are the toxic chemicals used to produce the products and bleach them snow white. We've seen on demos how they take paper, and the cheapest paper they can find is trash, and they bleach it 6 to 8 times and make it snow white, and they put that in their pads. Anyway, the purification and bleaching process with chlorine products may leave traces of dioxin in the products. According to WVE's Kim Fatale report, exposure to dioxins and furans has been linked to cancer, reproductive harm, endocrine disruptions, unfortunately, test results revealed that both dioxin and pesticide residues are found in the tampons. Dioxins are persistent organic pollutants that are highly toxic, damaging your immune system and may interfere with your hormone system. Now, we've heard over and over again how women, when they on their period, have attitudes. I guess so. You'll have an attitude if somebody was to put poisons directly into your blood system. So us men need to understand more what the women are going through with these poisons into their system. We've had men who've come to Healthwise and got these cherished sanitary pads for the woman in their life. When I was growing up, we ran from these. Man, he's poisoning our woman. And us, our nature is protect our woman. So we have the cherished pads. It's up to us to look out. I mean, they got these laws that's on the books, they ain't made out of committee. But we got the cherished pads at WHPR. We got the cherished pads at Healthwise. Nearly 90% of your exposure to dioxin is through food, as they take a long time to break down, enabling the chemicals to be distributed up the food chain. The FDA analysis of dioxin in tampons found a tolerable absorption of dioxin based on tolerable monthly intake of dioxin set by the Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives. These must be men or people getting paid off. What's a tolerable weight dioxins in your system? However, the toxicity of dioxin and persistence in the environment will lead you to believe that there should be no tolerable level, as dioxins are highly toxic, causing significant developmental, reproductive, and immune system problems, as most people have environmental and food exposures. The World Health Organization recommends prevention is best done by strictly controlling industrial processes to reduce the formation of dioxin. It would appear that setting tolerable monthly exposure levels for organic compounds that is persistent in enabling manufacturers to release products with these toxic chemicals does not adequately protect the health of the people using the products. A recent analysis by WVE, which acquired public patent documents held by Procter & Gamble, the makers of Tampax and Always, shows the following chemicals may be in your tampons: cyprin cellulose valine, meltdown polymers, chemical stiffeners fibers, polyester fibers, meat moss, foam. Who put foams in their vagina? Tissue wraps, lidomates, super absorbent gels, and open gel forms. Made of three natural and synthetic xenonites. This is an odor absorbing particles. And they got a patent on that. Alcohol. Oh. Yes, Carl, you got a question or comment? Hello? I can't hear the caller. Okay. Wait a
Hello?
minute. Okay. Okay, I can hear you now. Wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute. Oh, they hung up. Unnamed antibacterial agents. Cancer causing chemicals such as these are some names I can't even try to pronounce. Synthetic mus, potential hormone disruptive, glycosol esters, polyabsorbate 20, numerous allergens, which is this, the scent products. Back to biology. But vagina chemical exposure is unique. Woman's vagina tissue is far more permeable than the rest of her skin, making women especially vulnerable to chemicals and other irritants that are pressed against these susceptible tissues for hours at a time. Vaginal tissues is full of blood vessels and lymphatic vessels, making it a direct entryway for chemicals to the rest of the body. The WVE reports Kim Fannell makes notes of this reporting. Quote, in fact, there is a considerable interest in vagina drug delivery systems because the vagina is such an effective site to transfer drugs directly into the blood without being metabolized first. Not all chemicals rapidly absorb, but some hormones-like substances enjoy a higher than expected exposure and avoid hepatic first-pass metabolisms that drugs administered orally would normally undergo. So when you get these chemicals from the generic engineered food, you eat them, at least your digestive system can help deal with some of those chemicals. But when you put it directly into your vagina, into your blood system, there's no breakdown. It's going directly in there. And I've heard reported cases of women who couldn't conceive children for years. Wayne Rowland, who developed the Civil Water Program, I got 23 women who couldn't conceive, used the Civil Water Program, and in 1 month was able to conceive. The physical statue of the vagina wall also increases the likelihood of absorption into the blood stream as rouge, a series of ridges on the vaginal wall, increases the surface area and help retain chemical exposures and increasing absorption. Thus, direct exposure to your system without first passing hepatic clearance may increase toxicity of cancer causing chemicals, for which little research has been done regarding direct exposure to the vagina. Pesticides, contamination, toxic chemical byproducts, and undisclosed chemicals therefore pose a hidden health risk to women. Tampons may also create a favorable environment for bacteria growth in the vagina. Tampons used may increase the risk of micro tears in the walls, allowing bacteria to enter directly into your blood streams and increase your risk of toxic shock syndrome. TSS may be caused by either Streptococcus or a group A Streptococcus bacteria and may be life-threatening. It's important to recognize the symptoms of the conditions as early treatment improve your outcome. Seek medical help if any of the following arise while using tampons: sudden high fever, vomiting, diarrhea, low blood pressure, seizures, rashes on palms or soles of your feet, muscle aches, redness of your eyes, mouth, and or throat. The tampon tax. Adding insult to injury, although feminine hygiene products are regulated as a medical device, they are taxed at a sales counter, unlike other medical devices. According to U.S. Internal Revenue, sales tax on medical devices are paid by the manufacturer. Generally, no action is required by individual consumers because the tax is imposed upon the sale of a taxable medical device by the manufacturer or importer. The manufacturer or importer is responsible for reporting and paying the tax. New York, Illinois, Connecticut, and the District of Columbia have been taking steps to eliminate sales tax on tampons for the consumer, as they are a medical necessity for women with a functioning menstrual cycle. Whew, I got through that. I can't share with you enough, because the end of this, it talks about taking action. If you care about full disclosure, contact your representatives in Congress and ask them to support the Menstrual Products Right to Know Act in 2017. That's H. Bill 2416. H. House Representative Bill, H.R. 2416. Support House Bill 2416. In the meantime, safer feminine care alternatives, I can't thank those brothers enough for developing a product that could potentially help our women. I proudly carry this feminine cherished product at Healthwise. I'm a product man. Some people are money people. Some people, well, anyway. That's why I stick with the noni juice, because I know it's doing good for people. It's another product my mama take. It's the noni juice. And now she got this. It's turmeric. It's loaded with curcumin. Cherish Pad. You can get them here, WHPR, and you can get them at Healthwise. It's 3807 East 8 Mile. We have a list of some of the harm that are caused by this report from Dr. McCullough, who put this out in June of 2017. It's up to us to look out for one another, being our brother's keepers, and in this case, being our sister's keeper. We made by one God, one universal energy, one spirituality. That's our source we come from. That's what we have in common. We all come from God. This divide and conquer is put out by the 1%ers so they can control us. Leaders that I follow, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Mary Bethune, they made a way out of no way, using, you keep our eyes on the prize. So this here is very important for us to share it with the woman that's in our lives. If you want more information, you can stop at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, or you can give me a call directly on my cell phone, 313-600-8532. You can still call the store. The number still work there, 366-DIET. It's 313-366-3438. Or directly at the store, 586-757-DIET. Again, it's 586-757-3438. They also make a lining, because we got some elderly women that had twinkles in the lining, made out of the same material, cotton. Whatever you do, remember to get your 5 hugs a day. You can stop by Healthwise. I'm one of the ones that give you the 5 hugs. Or at least 1 hug anyway. Peace and love, y'all.